Thank you. Lisa Landris, followed by Linda Jo Sheehan.
Lisa Landris, I have just three quick things. We went to the Board of Supervisors meeting and brought up the Joe Rodota Trail. We followed in on that conversation. Most of the meeting was a bust. Board of Supervisors completely lost control of the meeting. They were shouted down, you name it. Though they had a deputy on site, they didn't utilize him until we finally asked that a person who was being very belligerent was taken out. We're asking you to put that on as an agenda item since Santa Rosa has pretty much the greatest proximity to Joe Rodota Trail in addition to Board of Supervisors. My second thing is to follow up with the where we're at with the dog attacks. I now have Supervisor Gorin meeting with Brian Whipple from the Director of Operations for the Animal Control to see what is not happening, where the breakdown is happening. I did have to file a formal complaint against an animal control officer who was very unprofessional, so that's now in her complaint file. SRPD has been wonderful in contacting us and staying on top of it. They've reached out to Brian Whipple. They are now going to take a more proactive stance when there's an actual assault against a human. There's going to be somebody who will actually respond and not just let that homeless person slip away with their off-leash dog and walk into the sunset to have it happen once again. My third item is how long it took me to get a copy of the conditional use permit for 600 Morgan Street. I first approached council with it. I was told by a council member I would get it. I said, I'm happy to walk in, tell me where to go, I'll get it, I'll pay for a copy. That didn't happen. They said they would follow up with me. I sent an email, I called. I ended up going through 5 employees to get a conditional use permit, which is dated 2014 with no problems of record noted, though I have a landslide of people from that area calling me with problems. So I've now been driving that area, and I can tell you that everything they say is true. Both sides of the sidewalk completely blocked. Numerous shopping carts abandoned within the street. People that have no business trying to cross a street without a crossing guard, trying to make their way high, drunk, mentally afflicted, whatever they are, barely being able to navigate getting across the street. People doing circles in the middle of the street with giant children packs behind them loaded with things to where they don't even yield to traffic. They just keep going in circles, blocking every direction. So something needs to be addressed there because no business owner could own a business like this. And the fact that we allow Catholic charities to be stewards of a business like this and not hold them accountable to having some sort of supervision. One of the items was that they only need to have one person on that site. They're serving like 1,000 people in a day. How is one person adequate? So I'm going to ask you to look into that because that is a falling down on the job thing. That's not well served and it's not serving its clients and it's definitely not serving the community. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Robert Murray, followed by Anita LaFollette.
Good evening, Santa Rosa City Council and everybody here. I thought of preparing some statements. I did actually write a few things down, but I figured I'd just speak from the heart and let you know my story and what brought me here tonight. I was born in Santa Rosa, but when I was 6, my family moved to Alameda. Those that don't know, it's right next to Oakland, neck deep in the Bay Area. I spent some time in college down in the Los Angeles area as well, working down there, looking for a job after college. I went to Cal Poly, got a nice little degree, decided to find a place to live after college, and I knew of Santa Rosa. I had family in the area still, and I still liked Santa Rosa. I thought it was a great place to live and raise a family. Well, I've done just that. The last time I was in this council room, I was with my children and my Cub Scout den. I had the boys in here showing them what city council was and how city government worked and how we as citizens could address our government and let them know our concerns and share our stories. Well, I've been in this town for over 20 years, and this is my first meeting where I've actually attended a meeting and not just a tour for kids. So why would I be here for 20 years and never attend a meeting? What brought me to this meeting tonight? My wife is part of a run club. That run club used to run on the Joe Rodota Trail. That run club used to run on the Creekside Trail. My wife is not safe running on either of those trails, whether she is alone or with a large group of women. They are not safe. This is not something that's popped up and slowly grew over the course of years. It didn't suddenly happen in 2017 after the city burned down. This homeless crisis that we're dealing with on the Joe Rodota Trail has popped up very recently. This is a very acute problem. So we need to figure out exactly why they're here, who they are, and what they're doing. And we need to clean it up. We need to make it safe again, safe for our wives, safe for our mothers, so they can go on a morning run with their groups. So I can ride my kids on that trail once again. That same Cub Scout den, we would ride that trail to Sebastopol to Screamin' Mimi's. There's no way in hell I would do that now. It's inconceivable to do that today. My kids are not that old, and it wasn't that long ago that we could make that bike ride, but today it's inconceivable. There's no way we're getting a 5-star rating from any bike group anywhere, given the condition of our trails. This needs to be cleaned up. It's completely unacceptable. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Brenda Gilchrist, followed by Craig Murphy.
Hi, everyone. Brenda from Citizens for Action Now. How many people are here from Citizens of Action Now? Raise your hands. Woo, okay, thank you for representing tonight, because I think more of us are starting to show up because we used to just work hard and we would enjoy this beautiful city, but a lot of us are now starting to come out as concerned citizens. So we appreciate you guys giving us a chance to at least advocate for ourselves. Jack Tibbetts, you replied to somebody, I think it was yesterday or today, to a letter, and you made some good points about the problems and the issues that are preventing us from managing the transient and vagrant population. One of them is Prop 47, we understand is tied the lawmakers or police officers and sheriff's hands. We're in a state, we feel like, as citizens of the county and of the city, we feel like we're in a state of emergency. We'd like to propose to City Council that as much as you can to advocate for repealing or changing the impact that Prop 47 has had, ask for some federal emergency or assistance to deal with the lawlessness and the vagrancy. There was a lady today as I was driving on Railroad Square, going to an appointment, pushing her cart through a green light. Traffic, people almost hit her. So there's been various issues on a daily basis that all of us are seeing. What we're also feeling is that the city is pointing at the county is pointing at the city. They're saying the county needs to deal with the Joe Rodota Trail. Somebody needs to deal with it. If you guys could collaborate efforts, and I know there's some public challenges that we're not aware of as citizens or residents, but we'd like to have you guys collaborate, coordinate, and deal with this as an emergency crisis, because we're all concerned about our safety. As Robert Murray said, I'm also afraid to run on the trails. I won't go out without someone running with me or biking with me. And it's a sad state of affairs that a lot of us that used to enjoy our parks or enjoy the streets won't go out at night, or we won't go out and run in the parks and feel safe. So we're pleading that you guys look at emergency federal assistance, maybe state assistance to either reverse or overturn things that are handcuffing our police officers or our sheriffs from managing the situation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Craig Murphy, followed by Shelley Radke.
Thank you for hearing me out, council members. Craig Murphy, Santa Rosa, member of Citizens for Action Now. First thing is I want to ask that the Joe Rodota Trail and the homeless issue in general makes it onto the agenda in the future. I want to address a recent string of incidents that are related to the homeless issue, and that is the dog attacks that have been occurring from off-leash, dangerous, aggressive dogs owned by homeless individuals specifically. The most recent one was Carolyn Teal. Many of you are familiar as she spoke at one of the most recent council meetings. Off-leash pit bull and a smaller dog attacked her next to Montgomery High School, owned by homeless individuals. Those individuals the pit bull was put down, but the smaller white dog has been taken into quarantine, and now the individuals are petitioning to get that dog back. My wife, Marcy Murphy, was nearly attacked by the same dogs who charged at her, and luckily the rope that they were tied to the tree held. Christina Hall, dogs charged her. This was a different incident in Santa Rosa by homeless owners of the dogs. Carrie Meshies, dogs charged her, Santa Rosa. Jim Drager was charged by dogs in Santa Rosa, all owned by homeless individuals. Catherine Johnson, her dog was attacked by a pit bull owned by homeless individuals. Evelyn Smith, her dog was attacked in Santa Rosa by a homeless-owned dog. Hans Van Boldricht, his dog was attacked in Doyle Park. Jordan Simmons, her dog was killed recently in Grayton. That's been on the news. Most of us have seen that. And another example of that owner was a homeless individual, and she's trying to get that dog back, which is now in quarantine. So these people don't always have empathy for what happened, and they're self-serving. They want to get their animals back that are clearly dangerous, aggressive animals. Charlotte Tressler, she was attacked herself in Doyle Park. Debbie Isley, dogs charged her. That was in Santa Rosa. Susan Hirschfield, aggressive off-leash dogs charged at her in Doyle Park. Carol Cranston, her dogs were attacked 3 times in Doyle Park. And all of these examples have happened within the last year and a half. So these are recent, it's a recent escalation. It's a serious problem. My argument is that individuals who lack the ability or the physical or mental wellness to properly take care of themselves cannot properly take care of an animal. Individuals with no assets or no means of being financially liable have no business owning an animal. If my dog escapes from my gate and attacks someone, my homeowner's insurance goes up and the victim gets restitution. With homeless, they move on, they acquire another dog for protection after theirs removed, or often petition to get their dogs back. This population should not have the same rights of dog ownership as those of us who have something to lose should our animals hurt another. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Shelley Radke, followed by Susan Lamont.
Hi, I'm Shelley Radke, and I live in the condo complex that is right over the wall from the Joe Rodota Trail, Casa del Sol. And it's 150 feet to the homeless people, and I'm sorry, but those people are not law-abiding citizens. There are fires going on, drug use, lawlessness. I don't even ride my bicycle over there anymore. I've been a working citizen for 40 years and paid taxes all my life, and I support the parks, and I really like to know why this is being allowed and tolerated. One night while returning back from work at the hospital, when I get home late at night, there was smoke when it was warm, and I called the fire department, actually called the police. They referred me to the fire department. Fire department came out, and they said there's nothing that they can do, and for me to come to a council meeting. So here I am. Thanks.